Well, basically, just want to remind you a little bit what our book is exactly about. It's going to be a small, thin book, 40 pages, 80 sides. This leaves 80 spaces for businesses to advertise. Basically, this gives an opportunity for businesses to get good campus representation all over several campuses, Babson and Wellesley College. We're thinking about the residents of Wellesley as well. This is some of the results we got from a business survey. And basically, that's what our book is, and I'm going to pass you on to Angel, who's going to discuss more specifically about the student survey.
Well, we started with the student survey because we wanted to show the businesses what their market would be like. We weren't sure that they would really listen to us if we didn't show them that there were actually students on campus who would actually use the books and use the coupons that might be in the books. And so the student survey gave us a clearer picture of what our market would be like because the students are getting the books for free, so we weren't sure that they would throw them away or if they would keep them on hand. And so you might say that it doesn't really matter what the students think because they're getting them for free, but just the fact that we took the time to survey the students before we went to the businesses made the businesses trust us more because we actually took the time to do that. And we surveyed 30 Babson students and 8 Wellesley students. And the first question that we asked them was whether they would refer to an advertising book like the Yellow Pages, which is essentially what our book is almost like. And the majority of the students that we surveyed expressed a real big interest in the service that we were offering. Our second question was, how often would you refer to this book? And 60% of the Babson and the Wellesley students said that they would refer to it sometimes. So it shows that they're actually going to be using these books instead of just setting them aside and not really caring about what's in them. Our third question is, how many times a month would you use it? And just the fact that they're going to use them 1 to 3 times a month shows that they're actually interested in what the community has to offer the students. Question 4 is, if there are coupons in the book, how many do you think you would use? And we talked to the businesses about offering coupons in the book as sort of an incentive to have the students come to their business. And the students said that they would use them 1 to 20 times. So that's a pretty good estimate. Question 5, how, if you received this book in your mailbox, most would keep it on hand because of the valuable information that the book has. And even though not most of the students have a car on campus, most of them have, or actually about 50% have access to the cards. Overall, throughout our student surveys, the Wellesley students expressed more of an interest for the advertising book itself, but that kind of works in our interest because the businesses that we surveyed said they wanted to target the Wellesley community. So I'm going to pass it on.
Alright, now I'm going to run you through the business aspect and the feedback we got from them. We went to a lot of different businesses, but the ones we got in touch with, either the store owner or the person that dealt with the financial aspect and advertising and so forth, were at least 10. Now, as you can see, we went anywhere, stores from elegant stores to candle makers to pizza places. One of the things we found was that they were very enthusiastic about letting us help them in their aspects. They all knew that Babson did this sort of project. They were all very willing to help us. But they did have one correction for us. We had planned to advertise them in Babson, Wellesley, Bentley, BC, BU, and Mass Bay, I believe was the name of the college. They asked us, all of them actually, to only represent them in Wellesley, Babson, and the Wellesley community. So that's one fix we made. More than half of these businesses were very surprising feedback. They were all willing to make business with us on the spot, even though we told them we were in the planning stages of our business. When we got to the business, at first, when they saw us walking in, telling them that we had a business proposition for them, they kind of brushed us off. But as soon as we told them what our idea was, they immediately picked up on us and took the time to sit down with us and discuss our business. Now, for the prices, when it came down to it, we didn't propose a price. We let them tell us what they would be willing to pay. We got range of numbers from $60 to anywhere to $250, and this is depending on what size we would make the page. Now keep in mind, this would be doubling, tripling easily, not to mention even quadrupling our profits. Our break-even point is $23. People are willing to pay 3 times that just for a half page. So in other words, our business has the good incentive that not only will we be providing a good service for them, but we would be keeping them happy because we would be doing this on their own terms. And this is one of the things that would make it successful and that really impressed them when we went and presented our ideas.
All right. I just want to conclude first and saying that this is a very good idea. I'll tell you, there's another thing. There's a little book. I don't know if any of you guys have noticed this little book called The Student Source. It's about a small book, exactly the way we want our book to be, basically. But the difference with this book, and this is, I mention this because it helps us in the following way. This book charges actually $12,000 per page to advertise to the businesses. You can understand, we're going to be charging, our price ranges are like between 60 to 150, 200, something like this. You can see there's a great difference. So obviously when businesses, they're used to paying prices like these, $12,000, $3,000 for a coupon, like crazy things like this. When they hear about hundreds, 200, 250, they all suddenly become very happy. This is why it's a very good idea, because to break even we need to sell it at 23, we can sell it at 200. You can imagine the profits. That's all. Any questions?